Moments that went way overboard on Paternity Court.
Because of one thing, it doesn't matter what happened now. All the silent things won't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody says. These are all God's children. Those children belong to God. They didn't ask to be here. Those are God's children we are playing with. She didn't ask to be here.
Mr. Cooper, you are the father.
Like I said, that's what I thought.
You are the father.
Thank you, Your Honor, for those results. I will leave you alone.
All right, paternity peeps. Here's another paternity puzzle about the potential daddy who wasn't around. Mr. Harrison, being a hustler back in the day, left his family a long time ago. However, Miss Connolly, after 2 decades, accused him of fathering her 23-year-old daughter, Artisha.
He stayed in church a lot, and I was just used to hanging out in the street. So, me and my girlfriend, we would go out, and I was a little promiscuous, fast. And I did have someone else that I was, having sexual intercourse with. And I got pregnant with my oldest child. Come to find out that, it wasn't his child.
Just hold that thought and give this man a clean look. Jeez, make him trim his mustache and let's see who comes out of there. But anyway, Mr. Harrison did explain his doubt to the court, claiming he just had a brief encounter with the defendant as she was living a promiscuous life.
I had my doubt down through the years. Despite the fact of my doubt, I should have and could have done a better job, but I didn't.
Okay.
But my point is that I think 23 years, if they're asking the question, why now, why not now? But I think this could have stopped a long time ago. She would have went to court and asked for child support. That would have solved all this right then and there.
She said she did.
I did.
Turns out, when they were both living a fast life, Miss Connolly did get pregnant with someone else's child. Yet they both decided to continue their relationship. But deep down in Mr. Harrison's heart, the level of distrust in this woman was skyrocketing, which might fuel the doubt when the second child came.
Still selling drugs, doing things that I was, out in the street partying, having fun. Then they would go to work, come home. I was a good person. I'll be there, take care of the kids. When my girlfriend come around, he'll babysit, or I take the baby to my mom, and we'll go out.
Now, literally, there are tons of things wrong with that testimony, Miss Connolly. Number 1, how can you be a good wife selling drugs? However, when Artisha was born, the plaintiff herself admitted to doubting the child's paternity.
Are you concerned? Are you questioning?
I'm questioning, because at that point,
She never stayed home.
I never was in the house. I got locked up. I had Artisha in prison. I was still hanging out in the
And
street.
before that, were you with many different men or just one other man besides Mr. Harrison? Several.
Okay, so the notorious Mama G had her daughter in prison, and before doing jail time, she was doing bedtime with multiple men. But anyway, Mr. Harrison was hoping for the daughter to be his, as he had admitted to still having feelings for the baby mama.
Mr. Harrison, do you want Artisha to be your daughter?
More than anything in the world. Because of one thing, it doesn't matter what happened now. All the silent things won't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody says. These are all God's children. Those children belong to God. They didn't ask to be here. Those are God's children we are playing with. She didn't ask to be here.
Now, isn't that the Obama talking? Yeah, that's right. These were all God's children indeed. But only if you could have been a little more considerate towards the child's needs, Mr. Harrison. Can't you imagine the pain she must have been through all these years?
I've experienced feelings of abandonment. I've been lonely. I've never had a lot of friends. I've only kept about 2 or 3 friends. On the top of that, people didn't like me, and I've always wondered, why is it that this person doesn't want to be involved with me?
The girl always wished to be her dad's little princess, but things don't always go the way we want. But anyway, Mr. Harrison understood the hurt he caused the young person, and that's why he was here to fix that troubled past, DNA style. So, here was Judge Lake reading out the results.
Mr. Harrison, you are her father.
Congratulations. I'm sorry.
Well,
I never introduced her into my family for my doubt. I let my doubt get the best of me.
Miss Connolly, how do you feel?
Should have done this a long time ago.
Mr. Cooper was really confused about the whole situation. He was completely sure that he couldn't be the father of Miss Canterbury's 2-year-old child, especially considering what had been happening recently. And like all the other potential fathers, he doesn't want anything to do with the child support.
So, Mr. Cooper, explain your child support concern.
Man,
I'm gonna tell you like this.
Did you say man?
No, I'm sorry, Judge. Judge, I'm gonna tell you like this, Judge. I watch people come in here all the time, and some people be good men and get criticized, and then they be sitting here, then all they want is just the money from them, and it ain't gonna be me today.
That's right, Mr. Cooper. You did make a strong statement. But wait, you were all pointing fingers at the defendant. And guess what? He had more worries to share about the baby mama's past. It felt like he was getting prepared for this very day.
We were out. She was with her people, I was with mine. It's like we just linked. I seen her some years later. She already got a reputation for being loose. Come on now, ain't nobody got time for this.
But you didn't even know me though, so how would you know
Right, I know you.
that? You don't know me.
Okay.
So wait a
You're not
minute, what
even
you're
around.
saying is you had mutual friends. That's how you met?
Yes.
Felt like Mr. Cooper had something against the mom. He did blame her for all the drama and confusion. And oh boy, don't you worry, he wasn't finished just yet. But the static shock of emotions is just missing. How about you listen to how he learns about the pregnancy?
My mama called me, some girl here with a baby. And I'm still a baby. What you mean, baby? That's how I felt. But I'm like, man, you got me messed up. I ain't got no kids.
And that is the first time you've ever heard about Jaden. Your mom calls you and says it's a girl over here with a baby.
I come over there, she gone, the baby laid in my mama's arm. My mama got attached to the baby.
And just that quick?
That's that quick.
Mr. Cooper held a long list of doubts and claimed that the baby mama was dating men more than the stars in the galaxy. But he also told the court how swiftly his family got attached to the baby. How about we ask Miss Canterbury for some explanation for this?
I have something to say. You know this baby was my baby, or you claim it to be my baby. If you had a baby and you thought a man was your potential baby father, once you let him know whether he is or he not, you would
And
say
I did.
something. You would let him know, it's a potential. You could be. You would say that, right?
Of course, but I
Just
wouldn't
not
have
gonna
a
have nobody
potential.
stuck in the dark, living a lie. You're not gonna do that.
Miss Canterbury didn't even blink an eye. She stuck to what she said. But hold on, what about all the accusations being thrown at her? Even when she explained the timeline, it didn't help because the possible dad brought a calendar showing when the baby could have been conceived.
You see right here?
Yes.
In the week of September, this is the first time we had sex. I wore a condom.
Nope.
Second time we had sex was this week through the 28th. And I remember it was threesome. We was all drunk.
You are
And I had a
definitely
condom
a
on.
lie.
How are you so sure you wore the condom?
Judge, I woke up with it on.
Hey, Mr. Cooper, it's not just you. We're all here to figure out if the baby is yours or not. But anyhow, the suspenseful drama of doubts was still going on. Both sides were anxiously waiting for the results. And now, here comes the envelope with the paternity truth. And it says the following.
Mr. Cooper, you are the father.
Like I said. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
You are the father.
Thank you, Your Honor, for those results. I will leave you alone. I will do
No,
everything
you
you
won't
want me to
because
do.
you got a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old to take care of.
Mr. Hoover, a guy in love with his fiancée and her baby, seeks a DNA test at paternity court to confirm he's the father. Miss Armour, uncertain due to a one-night stand with her ex, fears the results may jeopardize their family. Well, you know that the stakes were running high in this one, huh?
Your Honor, I love these girls. They're my world, and I just love everything. I just love everything about these women, and I just want everything to be right.
And so you feel like you're doing everything possible, and it's so important to you to be the biological father. I see the tears in your eyes.
Expressing deep love for his girls, Mr. Hoover tearfully emphasizes the importance of being Novali's biological father. He shares their unique bond, involving playful grunts and a growing connection. Miss Armour acknowledges his commitment, but doubts his biological connection.
We met when I was working at a convenience store. He'd always come in, we'd talk. It wasn't really anything other than idle chatter. And one day he came in and said, "Hey, come here." He pulled out a pink bracelet and he said, "I made this for you." And it was the first time we ever really had a real conversation, and I didn't believe him.
The couple met at a convenience store, sparking a seemingly fairy tale romance. However, they broke up shortly after Miss Armour's birthday, leading to a one-night stand with her ex. The breakup complicates paternity suspicions.
How soon after you reconnected with the ex did you find out you're pregnant?
About a month or so, maybe 2. And I actually found out when I was with Lee. I was scared and I told him, "I think I'm pregnant."
Miss Armour reveals conflicting conception dates from different doctors, creating uncertainty about Novali's paternity. Mr. Hoover believes he's the father, emphasizing their intimate moments during the alleged conception window. The couple navigates challenges with confidence until the babysitter's involvement.
My ex didn't really come back into the picture until our babysitter got into a fight with Lee and then decided to message my ex and ask for baby pictures.
Wait a minute, what?
We were
gonna
talking.
We were gonna do it regardless.
The babysitter, meddling in their relationship, contacts Miss Armour's ex, igniting doubts about Novalee's paternity. The couple's plan to exclude the ex from the child's life is disrupted. Mr. Hoover remains steadfast in his love and commitment, despite growing uncertainty.
My son would love to have a child, but he doesn't believe Tiffany's baby is his based off what she told my son. The day that Tiffany's baby was born, she sent a text to my son and said he wasn't the father. We were told by his doctor that he most likely would never have children.
A statement from the ex's mother introduces the possibility of fertility issues due to medication. Mr. Hoover challenges this claim, asserting his confidence in being Novalee's biological father. The stakes are high, with legal implications, as Mr. Hoover's name was on the birth certificate.
You were present, Mr. Hoover, for the birth.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you supported Miss Armour the entire time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so why would you do that, Mr. Hoover, when you know you may not be her biological father?
It didn't matter to me. I was there.
Well, now that statement might be a ray of hope for the wannabe baby daddy, right? Mr. Hoover, you did lift his spirit after hearing that, but just don't go celebrating yet, sir, because the DNA results were remaining.
Mr. Hoover, you are not the father. I'm so sorry.
We needed to know. Okay. Stuff happens. We can deal.
I'm very
He's big
sorry,
now.
Mr. Hoover.
I got him no matter what. That's my family.
Mr. Sensible and Miss Brown had the paternity talk about her child, where she accused him of being the bio dad. And not just that, she drags him to paternity court, claiming he's too attached to his mama, who's influencing his decisions.
I didn't know that Gregory was such a mother's boy and that I was dealing with his mother.
How am I a mother's boy?
I would be dealing with his mother more than him. I didn't lay with her, I laid with him. When we were supposed to, we had a conversation and he had said that he was ready to man up.
Mr. Sensible failed to show up at the leasing office, as the defendant had mentioned. This absence led her to believe that he was likely done with their plans. Consequently, she made the decision to travel from California to Oklahoma, where she began playing house with her ex-partner.
I just want to get to the bottom of this and see what it is, because there was no closure.
So, Miss Brown, at some point you almost end up with another guy.
When I had left California, I went to Oklahoma with my ex. That's when the calendar comes in.
So after he didn't show up with the leasing office?
I left.
Miss Brown kept track of the time when she got pregnant and found out that she had intimate relations with both individuals within a short time frame. This added to the confusion of the situation. One might wonder what she was thinking. Wow, woman, you sure were something.
In green are the days you were intimate with Mr. Sensible. In red is outlined the dates you were traveling, and then in blue indicates which days you were intimate with your ex.
Yes, Your Honor.
Which is potential father number 2. So yeah, that's doubt.
When Mr. Sensible learned about the pregnancy, he was told by the baby mama that he was indeed the father. Well, Miss Brown, you might have some courage to make this claim after your guilt trip to Oklahoma. However, he wasn't sure and still showed concern for the baby.
I said, can you send her out here? My mom come get her, whatever. Like, whatever you want me to do, however you want to do. You can bring her out here on the plane, whatever. I get her, get to know her, like she.
So that he'd be able to bond with the child, being that she had 3 other children. This one child, it shouldn't have affected her other than just her being the mother of the child. For her to come bond with who was supposed to be the daddy.
But wait, there was more to the story. Mr. Plaintiff went through 2 situations where he nearly died and got shot 6 times. After the trauma, he woke up wondering, is the baby mine? I'm not sure if I should appreciate this reflection or be concerned about his mental well-being.
So does he have to die for the truth to come out?
What happened?
He's been shot.
And that's the lifestyle that I didn't want to let my daughter leave with.
You was messing with him at the time of his lifestyle.
It don't matter. My kids was nowhere involved, unattended with this man.
Mr. Sensible told the court that he'd be open to having a relationship with the child, but only if it was proven that he was the father. However, the possible grandmother has been busy doing a home DNA test. To support her case, she brought a piece of evidence to the court that said something like this.
Ms. Brown, had you done the swab? Had you sent the DNA sample in?
I did, and it sat for a minute because I didn't want to send it in right away. Like, I really didn't want to know the truth.
Continue with the timeline of lies, ma'am.
So, week 10.
It seemed pretty clear that the woman who had a baby with Mr. Sensabaugh was telling some lies. To settle things, Judge Lake, looking surprised, quickly checked the DNA test results, which was the final call for closure that Mr. Sensabaugh needed.
You are not her father. Ms. Brown, you look relieved. Ms. Montoya, you look crushed.
It's not about being crushed. At the end of the day, I really want him to go on with his life, get married, have a baby, and be able to be in that baby's life from birth.
And I wish the best for him and his future.